ओम श्री सच्चिदानंद सद्गुरु साईनाथ महाराज की जय।
Om Sairam. Satcharitra Chapter 2. Object of writing the work: incapacity and boldness in undertaking, hot discussion, conferring the title of Hemant Band, necessity of a Guru. Object of writing this book. In the first chapter, I described Sai Baba's miracle of checking and destroying the epidemic of cholera by grinding wheat and throwing it on the outskirts of the village. I heard other miracles of Sai Baba to my great delight, and this delight burst forth into this poetic work. I also thought that the description of these grand miracles of Sai Baba would be interesting and instructive to his devotees and would remove their sins, and so I began to write the sacred life and teaching of Sai Baba. It shows us the true and great path. Now, the incapacity and boldness in undertaking the work. Hemant Pant thought that he was not a fit person to undertake the work. He said, I do not know the life of my intimate friend, nor I do not know my own mind. Then how can I write the life of saint or describe the nature of incarnation, which even the Vedas were unable to do? One must be saint himself before you could know other saint. Then how can I describe the glory? To write the life of a saint is the most difficult. I know that this was the most venturous undertaking which might expose me to ridicule. I therefore invoked Sai Baba's grace. This was initiated as stated, Sri Dhyaneshwar Maharaj as stated that Lord loves those who write the life of saint, and saints also have a peculiar method of their own of getting the service which the devotees long for. For instance, in 1700 Sahaya, the poet Mahipati aspired to write the life of saint. Saint inspired him and got the work done. Similarly, Das Gonu service was also accepted in the year 1800. Now, there were so many books and leelas were described in small decent book as Sainath Bhajans and Sai leelas. So many have written, and the question of objection comes in: why so many books regarding Sai Baba are extant? Why this Satcharitra be written? And where is the necessity? The answer is plain and simple. The life of Sai Baba is as wide and deep as ocean, and all can dive deep into the same and distribute the precious gem to the aspiring public. This will give peace and happiness to the people who are affliction with sorrows and the miseries of this holy existence. So I thought I should call these stories together. That would be my best upsana. This collection would be most delightful to those simple souls whose eyes were not blessed with Sai Baba darshan. So I set collecting Sai Baba stories, teachings and expression, the outcome of his boundless and natural self-realization. It was Sai Baba who inspired me in this matter. In fact, I surrendered my ego at his feet and thought that my path was clear, and he would make me quite happy here and in the next world. I could not ask myself Sai Baba to give permission to undertake this work, so I requested Mr. Madhav Rao Deshpande alias Sama to speak to him for me. He said, this Anna Sabi wishes to write your biography. Don't say that you are poor begging fakir and there is no necessity to write it. But if you agree and help him, he will write, or rather your feet will accomplish the work. Without your consent and blessing, nothing can be done successfully. When Sai Baba heard this request, he was moved and blessed me by giving his udi and said, "Let him make a collection of stories and experience and keep notes. I will help him." I should write myself my autography and satisfy the wishes of my devotees. I serve him in his house in all possible ways. Myself enter into him and shall myself write my own life. Hearing my stories and teachings will create faith in devotees' heart, and they will easily get self-realization and the bliss. The word discussion put me in mind of promise to explain the story of my getting the title of Hemant Pant. Now I begin to relate this same. I was on closely friendly terms with Kaka Sahib Dikshit and Nana Sahib Sandorkar. They pressed me to go to City and have Baba's darshan. But something in the interval turned up which prevented me from going to Shirdi. One fine day, I have decided to go to Shirdi. I reached Shirdi at 10 a.m. in 1910 when there was only one Vada for pilgrim devotees. After alighting from Tonga, I was anxious to have darshan. When the great devotee Tatya Sahib Nulkar returned from masjid and said that Sai Baba was at the corner of the Vada and that I should get first preliminary darshan and then after bath see him at leisure. Hearing this, I ran and prostrated before Baba, and then my joy knew no bounds. I found more than what Nana told me. All my senses were satisfied. I forgot thirst and hunger. The moment I touched Sai Baba's feet, I began a new lease of life. I felt myself much obliged to those who spurred and helped me to get the darshan, and I cannot repay the debt. I only remember them and prostrate before them. I found it is by this darshan our thoughts are changed and the force of previous actions is abated. It is by merit of action in my past birth that such darshana is got, and if only you see Sai Baba, really all the world becomes or assumes the forms of Sai Baba. On the first day of my arrival in Shirdi, there was a discussion between me and Bala Sahib Bhatte regarding the necessity of the Guru. I contended, why should we lose our freedom and submit to others? Why Guru is necessary? One must try his best and save himself. What can the Guru to do a man who does nothing but sleeps indolently? But he took up other side and said, whatever is bound to happen must happen. Even great men have failed. Man proposes one way, but God disposes the other way. Brush aside your cleverness, pride, or egoism won't help you. This discussion with all its pros and cons went on for an hour or so, and as usual, no decision was arrived at end. We had to stop the discussion. Ultimately, we were exhausted, and I lost my peace of mind. When we went to masjid with others, Baba asked Kaka Shahi Dikshit what was going in the vada, what was the discussion about, and staring at me, Baba further added, "What did this Hemant Pant say?" Hearing this word, I was surprised. The masjid was at a considerable distance from Vada, where I was staying and where the discussion was going on. How could Baba know our discussion unless he be omniscient and the inner ruler of all? I began to think why Sai Baba should call me by the name Hemant Pant. This word is a corrupt form of Hemantri Pant. This Hemantri Pant was a well-known minister of Kings Mahadev and Ramdev of Devgiri of Yadav dynasty. He was very learned, good-natured, and the author of good books. He invented and started new method of accounts and was originated of the Modi script. But I am quite opposite and I have a dull, mediocre intellect. So I could not understand why the title was conferred upon me. But thinking seriously, I thought that the title was done to destroy my ego. So I should humbly remain meek and humble. Looking into the future history, we think Baba's word was the significant and prophetic, as we find that he looked after the management of Sai Sanstan very intelligently, kept nicely all accounts, and also the author of such book Sai Charitra, which deals with such important and spiritual subjects such as jnana, bhakti, and dispassion, self surrender, and self realization. About the necessity of Guru, Hemant Pant has left no note, no memo about the Baba said about regarding the subject, but Kaka Shahid Dikshit has published these notes regarding this matter. Next day, after Hemant Pant meeting with Sai Baba, Kaka Shahib went to Baba and asked whether he should leave Shirdi. Baba said, yes. Then someone asked Baba, where to go? Baba said, high up. Then man said, how's the way? Baba said, there are many ways leading there. There is only one way also from here. The way is difficult. There are tigers and the jungle is very difficult to cross. I asked Baba, what if we take a guide with us? Baba answered, then there is no difficulty. The guide will take you straight to your destination, avoiding tigers and ditches, etc. on the way. If there be no guide, there is a danger of you being lost in the jungle or falling into the ditches. Mr. Dabolkar was present on this occasion and he thought that this was the answer Baba gave to the question whether the Guru was necessity, and he thereupon looked the hint and no discussion of the problem. Whether the man is free or bound is of any use in spiritual matter, but that on the contrary, real Paramatma is the possible only as a result of teaching of Guru, as is illustrated in this chapter of the original work, in instance of great avatars like Rama and Krishna, who had to submit themselves to their gurus, Vasishtha and Sandipani, respectfully, forgetting self realization, and the only virtues necessary for such progress are faith and patience. Bow to Sai Baba. Peace to be all.